Hey Aquarius, it's Empress Rose here with your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, leave what doesn't. Check your other major placements for other storylines or energy waves, especially if this one isn't the one for you. So we're going to start with the Oracle Mystical Moments for an intuitive vibe of where we're going first. We are grateful for the message we're about to receive for Aquarius. Okay. Little book. All right. Oh my gosh, a big book. Really? I'm going to try it. I'm going to do it. Oh goodness. Wow. You're basically, Aquarius, you're like everything that's ever come before today. All right. I don't know how to even start talking about this. This is kind of wild. Okay. This is such a wild... There's so many cards. I've never used this many cards before. I thought there were 4 when I took them. Otherwise, I would have put them back. But now that I've taken them, I don't believe there are mistakes here in Tarot land. So, oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, yes. I can see that one right there. Okay. All right. Okay, we have a little bit of everything. We have literally everything. I don't even know. Okay. Here's our least favorite card of the thing. Stranded. We took off on such a great, enthusiastic adventure. We really were inspired. We were a little young, immature. We didn't know quite everything that we were doing. But my gosh, our heart was big. Our heart was huge. And we were really going somewhere. We were going somewhere. It was very exciting. And then something happened and nobody really knows what it was, but it probably has a little bit to do with the fact that we're a kid and we're totally inexperienced and we're trapped and we're stuck in this situation and we don't know how to get out of it and nobody knows how to get out of it. And it's very embarrassing and we're feeling a little stranded and a little stuck and a little trapped. It happens to everybody, especially on a maiden voyage like this, our first time trying out something. We're going to learn a lot, but for now, we've had a very embarrassing faux pas and we feel a little trapped. This is also my feeling ghosted card. Like, what the fuck happened? Where did they go? We were going somewhere, we were doing something, and then now I just haven't heard from them for forever. So that's a little bit of this card too. You might be looking at something in your past with rose-colored glasses, but you know, this experience, however difficult it was, you changed, you grew. You grew and you changed, one, in a way that's very sort of obvious to everybody. Everybody can see that you bloomed here. And you also bloomed in ways that people can't see. You've changed in ways that people aren't necessarily aware of and aren't very obvious. But you have had some real obvious changes, like this caused you to change in quite a big dramatic way. And you might be looking back at your past with some rose-colored glasses, or at least some kind of coloring. Like, you're not really seeing your past very accurately here. There's something about it. I mean, now that you're this big, beautiful bloom, maybe that wasn't so bad back there. Maybe the ways that I changed, and it's so lovely, and maybe it's just not that bad back there. Your heart's ready to move on, actually. Your heart is saying, future. That way, I like it, I like what I see. But your mind is still a little focused on the past and a little focused on something of the past. And it possibly because it brought you to this big, you've bloomed, you've grown, something very passionate from your past. You're very passionate about something, possibly sailing or something like that. You're very passionate about something from your past. But your heart's getting ready to move on, actually. It's looking towards the future. This is really... there's something you're very protective of here. I keep seeing something... Oh my gosh, you're holding something in your hand in all of these cards. You're holding on to something. You're very protective of it. This dream, this vision that you have, okay, so maybe this was this first vision, this passionate thing. but you're not letting go of it. It's still your brightest thing. It's still your brightest star. You're protective. You're very protective of this idea. And maybe it was this original passion that made you launch with not as much experience and learning as you should have had, but you're still very passionate about it. And here you're holding on to this protective thing, and here you're holding on to this anchor that you pulled up, and here you're holding on to this secret sort of passion, the secret way that you've changed and you've grown. Yeah, a secret passion. You have this big blooming everyone can see, but you also have a secret passion. Here you're holding on to that protection of that secret passion. You're holding on to that secret passion, or that passion that you have with your entire body. Your entire body is holding on to it. And then you also are protecting it. And here you're holding on to your long-term companion, someone that's been with you every step of the way, not physically with you every step of the way, but in your mind, in your heart possibly. This is something that you met as a child, someone you met as a child, or some dream or some vision that you received as a child. There was a party. You're in a new party dress here, a different older party dress, but this has been like 30, 40 years, or, you know, size that down to however old you actually are, but a long ass time. And your minds have sort of melded together. You're of one mind now. And this has been a companion. This is my dear friend. So these talk about these companions. Well, there's companions in a couple of these cards, okay? So this is what I think your passion is, and what you might be protecting is, my dear friends, something that's been with you for a really long time. And this has a matching card earlier in the deck, where it's a birthday party, and you're meeting each other for the first time, and you're very passionate about each other. So this could also be an idea, a dream that's been with you, and you've grown up together. You've grown up with this dream. It's been with you this whole time. Maybe it's this dream of setting sail, or a similar type passion that maybe your first attempt didn't go very well. And but this is something from your past that you're very passionate about. My dear friend, it could be a dream that's been with you. You're very protective of it. It could be a relationship that you've had for a really long time, a friendship or something like that that's been with you forever, for your whole life. You've grown up together, basically. And then we have in your hand here, or in somebody's hand here, we have a star. And this thing is about to be free. In fact, this thing is already free. It just doesn't realize it yet. It's being freed from this cage. This maybe this dream, maybe this passion is finally being freed from this cage. It's taking a little enticement to get it out, but we're going to cross this threshold. We're right on the threshold, actually. But it's this, and then here we have this long-term dream again. Yeah, I'm getting very much a long-term dream is about to be freed, about to be loosed. I don't know what that means for everybody here, but this is liberty. There's going to be some freedom here. This little dove, this piece that's been trapped here, this big long dream we've had, something about it is about to become free and is about to fly free. And then we have again another companion card. We have this match set companion here, sisters, friends. Any two people. And then we have this house. This exterior of this 4-square building is very very bland or very ordinary looking, but it is inside, it is a riot of growth, this blooming, booming flowers. It's just it's not going to be able to contain it anymore. There's so much passion and love here, and this whole passion project that's been with you for a long time. There's just so much here, and it's going to be just coming out. It's not going to be able to help it. It's just booming out here, and so we have restraints. And these restraints of what something looking plain and not being plain at all, but being just full of life, and something being caged and now not caged at all, now flying free. And then underlying, or part of all of this, is the gardener card. So maybe you've been cultivating this garden that's now ready to grow. You've been cultivating this garden of looking to the past and growing in a secret way, but it looks like you're not going to be able to keep this secret anymore. It's going to come out in this really big, beautiful, overflowing way. And then we have this gardener card. This is when we work on ourselves, when we grow ourselves, when we weed our own garden. We actually help all of humanity. We're part of the universe. We're integral parts of the universe. So if you want, and we're integral parts of the world, we're all part of it. So if you want world peace, you have to like make your own little peace garden. That's what's going on here. You're making your own little peace garden, and the fruits of your labors come out and benefit your community somehow. So something didn't go very well at the beginning. There was some sort of issue, but it looks like, you know, maybe you're remembering it a little weirdly, but your heart's ready to move on. You've been very protective of something that's been with you for a long, long time, a vision that you got, or a person that you got, or an idea, passion that you had when you were a child. And no wonder we needed so many cards. This is a good story. And with your passion from your childhood, you've grown up with it. You've been very protective of it all this time. But your heart's ready to move forward. It's going to be unleashed. It's ready to be unleashed. It's ready to, this house, this home is going to become very happy, very full of life and love and companionship, and this dream that you've had for a very long time. It's about to be freed, and either free to go or free to bloom. I don't know. But this is working on yourself, benefits your community and benefits the other. It could be that, you know, gardening yourself and growing yourself benefits the dream that you have. Your dream benefits the world, or the relationship benefits the world, or something like that. But something you're doing privately actually ends up being really beneficial to everybody. You get to bring it to the farmer's market, and everybody gets the nutrition that you grew at home, that you've been protective of. Something like that. This private thing that you grew, as it becomes public, it actually like helps a lot of people. Okay, Moonology. What do we have? Moonology. Tarot's like, you want more? I gave you everything. I gave you a whole freaking novel here. No, I'm not taking another novel. We don't have time for this. I don't even have space on my phone for another novel. Okay, but we'll take the one that flipped up right. Full moon in Taurus. Dreams need a practical plan. This is about a dream, some sort of vision you've had for a very long time, and your first attempt at it didn't go well. But you need a practical plan. You need to figure out the nuts and bolts of this. It's going to become reality. It's coming into reality. It's been just this dream and this vision, but now it's becoming a reality, and it needs some level, it needs to get grounded. Because this isn't a grounded energy. This is a floating energy. I mean, maybe it's been with you for a long time, but it's not grounded. And this is wanting you to do something to make it grounded, to take some action, to make it concrete, to write that first page, the first bar of the you know, chorus or whatever. I'm not a music person. The first plan. Asking for you to develop a plan. Okay, so you got this dream. It's been with you for a long time. Your first time out didn't work out very well. It was a little bit embarrassing. But you know what also I think here is this plan is based on all the experience you got from this. You got a lot of experience from this. And I think the plan that you're coming up with has something to do with all the stuff you learned there. Because you didn't have a plan. You didn't have a concrete plan of where this was going to go when you did this the first time. You didn't have that. You just had passion. That's all you had. You didn't have you know, an idea. You just had the dream and you didn't like have any plan for how to bring it out. All right, we're moving to ethereal visions. All right, Virgo, this is your past. This is your present. Oh my God. This is your inner landscape. This is what's at issue. This is your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Yeah, that's right. I love tarot so much. Okay. So in your past, you have this King of Wands. This is a person from your past. This could be, actually, since we're dealing with wands, this could be the inspiration, this original inspiration, this original idea, this original plan. But this could also be a person from your past. In your recent past, we have this person, sort of a resurrection vibe here with the salamander, sort of a symbol of resurrection. Strength, we have the 2 lions here of strength. What are those 2 lions? Patience and fortitude, or whatever. You've got this king back here, and it's either a vibe, it's either an inspired thing that you first set sail with, this vision, because the wand is inspiration, the wand is intuition, the wand is so this guy's really intuitive, possibly very well traveled. Could be, you know, sort of the life of the party type person, or really interesting to talk to, very engaging, very charismatic person from your past, your recent past, or idea, very inspiring idea. I think the wand really lends itself to that interpretation as well. In your present situation, you're having some sort of epiphany, some sort of realization. The divine is half-blading. I just love that this card has come up like 4 times in the last 5 readings here. I think it's so cool. Actually, I don't know, but a lot of times, since one of my viewers was curious about this when I mentioned, like, why is it holding it like this? And it's about being more precise with the sword, more clever with the sword. You can use the sword as a hammer. You can also use the sword as to guide it better in between the holes in the armor, because all armor is going to have holes in it. So this can be the divine has gotten very creative with its truth and is trying to get it through your head. Here we see the crown right here, trying to get something through your head, and it's bringing in this inspiration, not an inspiration. It's bringing in truth. It's bringing in a communication. So right now you're having a true communication that's maybe a little bit clever, trying to get past some sort of armor that this public humiliation may have set up for you, and this protectiveness. Some truth is coming in right now, and some kind of communication or epiphany or new idea is coming in that's hopefully going to help you develop this practical plan. Your inner landscape, you would like to move away from a very painful situation. Something, this card, you know, the rest of these cards are all about like connecting and protecting and growing and freeing and all that. This card I keep referring to because it's this 6 of Swords. You want to leave this tree. You want to leave this humiliation behind. You'd like to leave that whole first start behind and move on to something safer. You know, that moment when you leave the shore and there's a storm out here at sea, but how awful is that shore when you're finally ready to leave it and move on and go out into a storm in a little rowboat, okay? A little rowboat, because this is awful, painful, humiliating little place back here. And you're really hoping to have an opportunity to launch away from that, to move on. This one manages to stay in the water, so so you're hoping to move on and get away from that, because that's just a little bit too embarrassing, a little bit too painful place. So you're hoping to leave a painful place and to go someplace better. What's crossing you is this 5 of Wands. Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm also getting the ghosting vibe off of this. It's being left out, and the pain of being left out, the pain of being not taken care of, not cared for, the pain of not having enough. So there's a deficit. Normally I take this in the reversal, but the Five of Pentacles is, it could be leaving that reversal, but I don't know why, leaving that deficit. I don't know why that would cause a problem, but that maybe the scarcity mentality is staying with you. Maybe in your mind, you're still trapped up here, because we saw you looking at the past with some sort of blockage. It's not seeing it clearly, but maybe your mind still feels like you're up here. You're still stranded. You're still abandoned, but you're not. You're coming out of this energy of not having enough, of there never being enough, and you're coming out of it. And so maybe, you know, this might be just being mentally stuck in a lack mentality and being stuck there. So, you know, I don't know if you've known, like, I knew these people, they were really, really rich, but they grew up really poor. So even though they were making like $300,000 a year with their little business, they still always felt poor and were always telling their kids, we can't afford that, we can't afford that, we can't afford that. Their house was in anything. It's not like, I don't know what other expenses they had. Maybe they really couldn't afford it. Maybe they were paying off like $4 million in debt. I don't know. But they certainly were, but it was more or less a mentality that they had, that they were poor, even though they were just making a lot more money than the rest of us, you know, are. But they hadn't been able to leave that lack mentality behind. And boy, were their kids mad. I knew the kid. Boy, were their kids mad when they found out how much money their parents actually had, and they weren't allowed any lessons or any you know, new clothes or anything like that. It was just a mentality that they got stuck in. So this could be, you've been in a lack mentality. No one's disputing that, or a situation of lack and not having enough of something in your life, just not being enough. And so it could be that you're sort of, your mind is sort of trapped back in a place where you're not actually anymore. You're not in this place anymore. You moved on. You're being freed. You're opening up. Life is coming. Things are coming back to life for you. So this mentality, because we've got this in the reversal, so we're not here anymore. Our lack is being answered. We're not totally abandoned. We're not totally lacking. We're coming out of that situation, but it's causing a problem because our brain is still back there. Our brain is still in lack mentality of whatever this is, you know, lack of vision, lack of companionship, lack of affection, lack of money, whatever. Our brain is still operating from that lack, and it's creating a problem because it's not happening anymore. It has happened, but it's not happening anymore. So in your environment, it could be happening in other areas of your life. Still, I don't want to dismiss that, but there's some area that we've been talking about, that you know about, that we've been talking about, where it's not that desperate or desolate. It's coming out of that energy, but it's not in that energy anymore. And it wants you to move with that. Move with the energy that is, not the energy that was. So in your environment, we have just an environment around you, some sort of situation with the past coming back to be reevaluated. Again, we were looking at it weirdly. We were looking at it where we've been in a lack, and then we're having to deal with this thing that happened in the past that was humiliating and embarrassing, and our dream didn't go according to plan. So it's coming back for reevaluation. Something from your past is coming back, consequences of past behaviors, looking back. I mean, we saw very clearly that you were looking back at something in your past here. Your heart's moving forward, but we're definitely reevaluating something that happened. Maybe you're going back to how you got stranded and stuck up here and all the things that maybe went wrong with that maiden voyage, and you're really looking back at those. But it's come back. Something from your past has come back. It has resurrected all by itself. You didn't conjure it. Maybe you did, but you didn't. It's come back. It's in your environment. It's not just in your head. There's something in your environment that's come back and come back up for reevaluation. So your to-do list is this Eight of Pentacles. To accept the new reality, because Pentacles are reality and physicality. Accepting the new reality. This door is actually open. It's open. You're not experiencing it as open because you haven't walked through it yet. But it's open. So we're dealing with a reality, a new reality here. It's not the past. It's a new reality. It's a new coin. It's a new gift. And I think, and here we have giving and we have receiving is how I'm perceiving this right now. So somebody, possibly you, is giving something and someone's receiving it. But I also feel like someone's going to give you something. Maybe a new idea of this dream. Maybe something more. This is very practical too. This is your dreams. You need a practical plan. This fullness, this thing coming in, and it's a practical, real thing, and it's coming in, and you need to accept it and accept the changes that it's going to bring to your life, and accept that you're no longer this inexperienced sailor with a more passion than brains. Like this is a new beginning coming in here. And I think what you're being called to do is accept it. But I think you're also being called to give it to come up with this practical plan, to come up with something very practical, very, very earthy, very real, touchable, tangible idea, plan, something like that. We have a confirmation here that you have this dream, you've had this vision, and you need to accept where it is right now today, that it's in a very different spot than what it used to be, and you need to come up with a practical plan. This is exactly what Ace of Pentacles is. It's a practical plan. Something practical coming into existence. And then what's your possible outcome? King of Swords. This is truth, this is honesty, this is full intellectual ability, knowledge. This could be a person, this could be a vibe, this could be you. This is where you're going. A possible outcome is a king, a master of intellect, very smart. We have the raven here, the apex species, the smartest bird species that we know of. Here on his shoulder. Here we have the heart looking to the future, the bird on the shoulder here, and here we have the intellectual bird on the shoulder here. Very smart moves, very accomplished, balanced, truth balanced with kindness, justice balanced with mercy. All right, well, this is the longest reading I've ever done. I'm going to blame the 7-chapter book that the Oracle of Mystical Moments gave us. So thank you so much for watching. I love your comments, your likes, your subscribes. They're encouraging to me, and they raise the visibility of the channel so that other people can find these messages too. Thank you very much, Aquarius. Hope you have a wonderful week.